Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
Hello viewers, this is Vijay Bhambwani here, and I hope my videos are helping you understand the markets better, understand the subtle nuances that are not immediately apparent to the untrained eye. Now in this video, I continue with my views on the energy space. Yesterday I talked about how crude oil, a very complex commodity, is basically become very volatile, but clearly there are chinks in the armor of crude oil. In this video, I'm going to talk about natural gas, very convincingly one of the most complicated tradable commodities of the calendar year 2021. Why do I call it the most complicated? Because of the sheer volatility. What we traders who are using statistical systems call statistical beta or pure price volatility. This has been one of the most volatile counters out there, and just to give you a sense of how volatile, on an average, the long period average intraday volatility of natural gas is between 2 to 2.5% mobility per day. But nowadays, it is very common to see 8 and even 10% intraday moves once in a while. 4 to 5% has become an acceptable norm nowadays. On a day that natural gas does not move 5% in either direction, it's like a very quiet day, believe me. So this is what is happening to natural gas, and since I believe in a 360-degree worldview, I owe my viewers and weekly cash alert subscribers the when, where, why, how of natural gas, and why temporarily we are not trading it at this point in time. You see, if you are a subscriber of Equity Masters Weekly Cash Alert, you would have got a cash blueprint, weekly cash blueprint. Now herein, I've divided the year into 12 compartments, monthly compartments, and I have given you which commodity to trade in which part of the year, along with the reason why. That's the 360-degree view, along with the reason why. You must also know why you are doing something, because the cause and effect theory says if you know the cause, you can estimate how much will be the effect and how long will the effect will last, right? So basically, the winter season, which is starting now, November to Jan, or maybe extend up to Feb, depending on how the winter really pans out, is a peak demand season for natural gas from heating perspective. Homes, offices, commercial establishments, airports, etc. use natural gas for heating. Of course, one of the fuels, it's not the only fuel. There are alternatives, but natural gas happens to be used pretty often. And currently, unfortunately, natural gas has become a football in a tragic comedy, geopolitical, mental war games. I can't put it any other way. Now you see, what has happened is the Russians, who are really big boys in crude oil and natural gas export markets, natural gas even more so, have been constructing a pipeline called the Nord Stream 2 to Germany, which will take care of natural gas requirements of Germany and parts of Europe. Now, this is a twin pipeline, and the collective capacity of both these pipelines will be 110 billion cubic meters of gas per annum. The Germans, after the pipeline was completed in October, refused to grant it regulatory recognition and a green signal to go ahead and start selling gas commercially, because the pipeline had not adhered to and complied with some regulatory requirements. Initially, the Russians held out, but of late, they have now agreed to incorporate a separate company which will be the owner of the Nord Stream 2 pipeline and apply for regulatory permissions afresh, which might delay the commencement of gas, but not as much as 4 months, which is the regulatory time frame requirement for granting permission, because the Germans are saying, look, it's a public utility, it is required for the winter, so we might just fast track the process. Now, might just is not something that we traders like. We don't know whether it's going to happen as an exclamation mark or is going to remain like a question mark. So there is uncertainty there. Now let's see why I said gas has become a weapon in the geopolitical war games in Europe. The Russian president, Putin, has basically tried to dominate Crimea in the past and has invited economic and military sanctions from NATO as well as USA. He now has similar aspirations over Ukraine. And why Ukraine? You see, this pipeline does not go from just Russia to Germany. It passes through Ukraine, it goes through Belarus, it basically also impacts Poland. So all these guys are now players within a geopolitical hodgepodge and the melting pot where a lot of personal vested interests of these countries are now colliding. Now that the Nord Stream 2 pipeline is made, Ukraine feels that it will be bypassed and it will stop receiving royalty. And therefore, it wants to shut down the taps. Belarus, as a matter of fact, a fortnight ago approximately, actually turned off the spigots in its locality and stalled the gas that was going towards Germany. The Russians themselves for a while stopped gas sales to Germany and diverted that sale to China. Why? Because the Russians want the Germans to fast track the regulatory approval to the Nord Stream pipeline and are therefore using gas as a geopolitical weapon. Sometimes they've been saying we'll give you enough gas to take care of all your citizens during the winter because it is a humanitarian commodity, and sometimes they're saying, look, there is not much gas to give you by way of a surplus, so we might just cut down the supply of gas. And hey, every time this happens, the price jumps up and down. Sometimes Belarus is turning off the tap, sometimes Ukraine is threatening to do so, and in between there are smaller players, smaller in the sense because they are not visible to the front line and mainstream media, like Morocco. Morocco actually shut down the supply of natural gas to Spain because it wanted to renegotiate prices. Now, it's always about money, we know that. But is Russia going to use natural gas as a weapon not only to get higher prices but also to pressurize Germany and parts of Europe not to meddle in Ukraine while it tries to annex or dominate Ukraine? That's what is happening. And who is getting punished with all these political and geopolitical football taking place? You and me. You and me. As traders, we enter into a trade and get kicked about in this political football where one country or the other is colliding in its vested interests. And to top it up, there is a winter which is just around the corner. We don't know whether a polar vortex will hit us just like it did in end of December 2020, which only subsided by end of February 2021, making our short sales in natural gas a protracted affair, but definitely very profitable in that period. But we don't know whether that kind of weather will occur this year, because weather, as we all know, cannot be predicted with certainty. So what's the game plan here? Am I telling you to forget natural gas and not trade it ever? Not at all. That is not a solution. But letting it sit quietly till things return back to normal and the dust settles seems to be a good option. A week ago, we traded crude oil rather profitably, garnering more than 4% in a couple of, not even a couple of hours, actually in under 60 minutes, under 1 hour. So I think in relative comparison, even though crude is by no means less volatile or very, very calm rather. It is volatile, but it is relatively lesser volatile as compared to crude. But to that extent, where trading is concerned, I think it makes more sense temporarily to shift focus to crude and of course keep ears to the ground for natural gas. Whenever an opportunity occurs, we'll grab down on it like an eagle and collect some profits out there. But as you've read in the weekly cash calendar, the winter months are the most volatile periods for natural gas traders. So, like we did on the 15th of November, we traded crude oil rather profitably. We are going to focus there, but we are going to keep hunting for opportunities as usual. I hope this video has also added to your knowledge, not just given you a timeline about our next trade, but has also added to your knowledge about how professional commodity traders look at every signal at the ground level before making a trade. On this cheerful note, I'll bid goodbye to you, not before reminding you to click like on this video if you liked what you saw. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already done so. Click on the bell icon to receive instant alerts about fresh content being put up out here. In the comment section, good, bad or ugly, I always welcome your feedback. And do help me reach out to fellow like-minded investors and traders by referring my video to your family and friends. Thank you for your patience. Till we meet again in my next. This is Vijay Bhambwani signing off for now. Have a very, very profitable day ahead. Take care. Bye-bye.